On Monday, in what will become the largest vaccination effort in the U.S. history, healthcare workers around the country rolled up their sleeves for the first COVID-19 shots. The U.S. is currently at a heartbreaking 300,000 deaths due to the coronavirus. Nearly 3 million doses of the vaccine are being shipped, with more of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine arriving each week. Joining us now from Dallas, Texas, to talk more is Monique Peters. Monique, um, we have vaccines from Pfizer and BioNTech, and along with an approval conversation that's happening with Moderna. Despite all the efforts, though, however, many still seem to be very unsure about whether or not to actually take the vaccine. Have we received enough research or evidence to make a valid decision about taking the vaccine?
I think as far as the research goes, there's still a lot of research to be done. And I want to stress that this is being labeled as an experimental vaccine still by, the FDA and the CDC. Just to be clear, what that means is it's not gone through all the trials. So one of the important trials that it's missed is the step two trial, which is the animal testing. Now, they, have done testing on thousands of people, and there's still some gaps to understand how it affects pregnant women, how it affects children, also people with pre-existing health conditions. Um, but they are doing their very best to instill confidence. In fact, this morning, Vice President Pence, his wife, and the Surgeon General got the COVID shot on live TV this morning in hopes of instilling that confidence in the American people. While I appreciate that, I think a lot of it has to do not just with the unknowns of, the vaccine itself and will it work, but, there's also a lot of other stuff surrounding the controversy of are we ever really getting all the information we need, aside from just vaccines. So I think that they still have a lot of work to do, and I think it's just going to come with time and people seeing for themselves that it is an effective method.
Monique, it kind of feels like we're in a little bit of a pickle because obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic. We need a cure. We need a resolve. It's causing, great damage. As we mentioned, 300,000 deaths at the time of this conversation. But on the flip side of that, people are concerned about the effects of the COVID-19 vaccine. We've seen over the last few days of people saying that they have had mishaps with their face or different reactions to the vaccine, and the question about whether or not there's enough research um, to make a proper decision on that is unique. You mentioned many things. The other thing is the availability of the vaccine, to who it's going to be made available to initially. Healthcare workers or elderly or those who are in assisted living homes and things like that really seems like almost will be about maybe spring or summer before the average person will even get access to the vaccine.
Yes, that's correct. So spring or summer is when the general public will get the vaccine. There's actually a tool online that you can go to. If you Google search it, it's like the COVID vaccine calculator, and it will tell you where you stand in line to get this vaccine. I myself did it just for fun, and I think I was 268 million behind everybody else. So I got to tell you, I'm still unsure about this, and I've never been so happy to be at the back of the line in my life, because I do want to see, how it kind of pans out. But I just encourage people to do their research. I think it's a personal decision for everybody. You need to know your facts, you need to weigh the risks against the gains and make your decision from there. What we want to know is that this is not going to be this is not going to be a forced vaccine. Okay, that I think that's what people are really really curious to hear.
Sure.
Now another important thing to mention really quick is that people are saying, oh, I would rather take the Moderna over the Pfizer. You're not going to have a choice. It depends on where you're located and what's available at the hospital in your location.
Monique, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Nietzsche.